Hey you guys, so today I am here to talk about things I no longer buy. I think it's so funny just to look back and realize how much you've changed over, the course of several years, and just how your tastes change, the things that you are interested in change. You realize that certain things just don't serve you anymore, and how you just evolve and where your mind is now. So I just wanted to come on with an updated video. I've done a few of these before and I always like doing them, and I always like looking back and seeing like, is this still true? So yeah, I just wanted to run down some things that I have realized I will probably, most likely 99% sure, I will not be buying moving forward. So in no particular order, let's just go ahead and run through my list. So first up, I will no longer buy items just because they are on sale. I cannot tell you how many times I have been suckered in to those big red sale signs, and I feel like they've set it up so that psychologically every time we see one we just go right to it. We're automatically attracted to it because who doesn't love a deal, right? And they would get you with, it was this price, but now we've taken 75% off of it and you only have to pay $2 for something that was maybe like $50 originally. And you're like, I will never find a deal like this, I have to get it. And then you end up with things that are ill-fitting, or they weren't exactly what you even went to the store for, but because it was on sale, you felt like it was too good of a bargain to pass up and you got it anyway. And I realized by doing that, I end up with a lot of things that ultimately don't serve me, ultimately probably won't get used, or if I do, I'm like forcing myself to use it just because I have it, or I never use it and I have to throw it out or send it away. So I'm really not even saving money, I'm wasting money by buying things on sale. I need to just get what I came for. If it happens to be on sale, even better, but don't get something just because it's on sale, because it's most likely a setup. Next thing, travel souvenirs. I used to, especially when I go to like really far away places, I'd be like, I have to get souvenirs, I have to bring people stuff back. Go on vacation, you go to the gift shop and they have the t-shirts, they have the little shot glasses, they have like these rinky-dink type of things that nobody really actually wants anyway, but you just feel like, oh, this is such an amazing place, let me get something from here, and then you come back with a bunch of junk. And who really wants another t-shirt with a random country name on it? Like, nobody really does. If you do use them, you just wear them to bed or something like that. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and I feel like it's just accumulating a bunch of crap. Just making memories and taking photos and updating my photo albums and stuff like that is way more of a long-lasting type of souvenir, and it really helps you to recall memories better. So I would rather take pictures, enjoy my time there, and just focus on the experience while there. It just overall just makes it more enriching. And buying souvenirs for other people, they don't care anyway. They might appreciate the gesture, but nobody actually cares. So no more souvenirs for me. Next one, thong underwear. This might be TMI, but I don't care. I will never buy them again. I am just all about comfort now, all about ease of wear, and I just don't want to walk around feeling like I have a wedgie and, have to do all this adjusting and everything. I don't have time for it. I don't have the mental space for it. I just want to be comfortable. Give me all the full coverage. Give me all like, a nice pair of boy shorts or, brief type underwear. Give me all the coverage that you can. And in the past, I always used to buy them because they were like, oh, they're so nice and dainty and cute, but they would always sit like in the back of my drawer. Every time I would look at them, I would really just pass them up because I'm like, no, I don't feel like wearing them today. When you look at something and it automatically turns you off and it automatically gives you an excuse to not use it or not wear it, you should probably reflect on that and say, maybe this is not working for me anymore and I need to just let it go. So I realized that when I was cleaning out my undergarments drawer a little while back. Like, I never wear these. I had some that I had literally for years, never touched them, never saw the light of day, and I was like, why am I still hanging on to these? I think I should just throw them out and commit to not even buying anymore because clearly I don't like them. So, boo. Next thing I no longer buy are seasonal or holiday decorations. I used to decorate on certain holidays back in the day. Cut that out. I don't think I actually used to do like seasonal decorating so much. I know like some people like to dress up their house differently in the fall versus in the spring. They might change out the colors of their pillows or change the rug out to match more with the actual season. I'm not the type of person to do that. I want something that's going to work no matter what time of year it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. I don't like a lot of clutter, so I don't want to have a bunch of decorating items to keep up with. To me, it's just less stress. I understand why some people like to do it, and that's great, but for me, I realize I really don't like to do it. It really doesn't add to my happiness and enjoyment of the space that I'm in. It's just not for me. Next thing I will no longer spend my money on are dumpy hotel rooms. Now, y'all that have been with me for a long time, you've heard me say this a couple times over the years that I kind of have a hotel phobia. I love to travel. I love to see things. I love to explore. I love to move around, move about the country. But I don't like staying in... How do I put this? I don't like laying in beds that aren't mine. And if I have to stay away, I want to be as comfortable as possible. The highest peace of mind that I can actually have in the situation that I'm in. So I used to back in the day get, you know, really crappy, not really crappy, but like kind of crappy hotel rooms. And my thought for that was, you know, I'm not really going to be in the hotel room much. I'm just going to use it to sleep. I'm going to be out exploring and sightseeing and doing all sorts of things. Don't have to spend much time in here, and also getting this room is a lot less expensive than getting somewhere else and blah blah blah. But then I would get there and I would immediately regret getting these type of places because I literally would not want to sit down. You know those places where they have the floral bedding, they have the carpet, you know, like a Motel 6 type of situation. And then I just realized, you know what, this is one of those things that I don't want to skimp on. This is one, like certain things I will go with the cheaper option, but this one right here, this is not something that I need to skimp on because my peace of mind is worth so much to me, and I would rather feel as secure as I can than to get somewhere and just be creeped out, get the heebie-jeebies and all that stuff. So now I'm like, I will get the cheapest plane ticket around, but when it comes to my accommodations, I want to stay somewhere that is modern, that's updated, that has the all-white bedding, preferably with hardwood floors because I don't like carpets. My standards now, I want to maintain them because, you know, there's no place like home. So when you're away, I feel like you should just go to whatever lengths you have to feel your best. So for me, that is one of the things that I will no longer skimp on. I don't care what the situation is. If I can't get the accommodations that I want and that I know will work best for me, I just won't go because it's just not worth it to me to be that uncomfortable, and especially because I don't like hotels and staying in other places anyway. Yes, I will pay top dollar for a really nice accommodation because it matters a lot to me. Next thing I will no longer buy are things online impulsively. I've talked about this in a previous video because I was telling you guys that I have this thing now where if I see something online that I want, I will go ahead and put it in my cart and then just leave it for a day or two. And if I come back and I'm still wanting it, or if I'm still thinking about it over that period of time, I'm like, okay, I really do want this item. But before that, I used to just go online when I was bored, I didn't have anything to do, or I just wanted to just window browse and see what was available. I would just do that in my downtime and just pick things that caught my eye. Boom, I would just buy it, and without really thinking about it, without really fleshing it out in my head, like, where am I wearing this to? What am I doing with this? How am I going to use this and all that? So I would end up again with a bunch of stuff that really didn't get used, and I would just have a bunch of unnecessary things. So now I've severely cut back just on my mindless browsing. That's number one. If I think of something that I want or need, then I'll go and, you know, search for it online. But I try to cut way back on just going online just randomly for no apparent reason. And also when I do find that thing, I will wait a certain period of time before I actually pull the trigger and purchase it. So that has helped a lot, especially with just keeping my things pretty minimal. You guys know I'm not like a true minimalist really, but I really like a lot of the principles of minimalism, and I try to keep my amount of possessions to a manageable limit. I try not to go overboard, get a bunch of stuff, And when I do get things in, I do let some things go. So that's one way that I can, you know, rotate, keep my wardrobe fresh, keep whatever I want fresh, but also not to have a bunch of clutter and crap in my house. Another thing that I will no longer buy is alcohol for the house. Now, I'm not actually a big drinker at all. I've always had a pretty low tolerance for it. Like when I go out socially and drink, my max is 2. If I go over 2, I don't get drunk, I just get sick. Like I get sick to my stomach, but you know, if I go out, I'll have a cocktail or something like that. For the house, I would sometimes buy a bottle of wine so I could have like a glass right before bed or with dinner occasionally. And you know, a bottle of wine would last a pretty good amount of time because, like I said again, I'm not a huge drinker, so it's not like I'm drinking a whole bottle in one sitting, but I would just have it there around just in case I wanted it. But then I realized I actually really enjoy unwinding with a hot cup of tea. Like that is my jam right now. I don't know if I'm sounding like an old granny or something, but I realized that a cup of tea is so comforting, it's so relaxing, and it's a lot healthier than having a glass of wine. So let me just go with the tea. And I go out enough where if I want a cocktail, I'll just have that as my thing when I go out socially and eat, you know, to a restaurant or something. I don't really need to have it in the house. I don't need to keep it around. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I know a lot of people like to kick back, have some wine, especially moms. Woo, life can get stressful. But just for me, I feel like I'm good. Tea is way less expensive, so I'm saving some money too. And just, you know, that'll be my thing. Next thing I will no longer buy are expensive greeting cards. You know, the cards that you look on the back, they're like $7.99, $8.99, some of them are $9.99, and I'm like, sticker shock. Yeah, I just don't feel the need to do that. The dollar store, you guys, has a wonderful selection. And actually, I don't think that people really care how much the card costs. They're really concerned more with what's written inside. Like maybe you wrote a really sweet, thoughtful message, or if you put something inside, you know. They're really more focused on that as opposed to, this card looks cheap. I just bought a 6-pack of cards because I sent out some things to a couple people, and I had a 6-pack for $1 from the dollar store, and they were really nice. They were like really cute, really jazzy looking cards, and I could write whatever I wanted in them, and they served the purpose. You know, why spend more when you can get something that is comparable quality for way less? So I don't see the need to spend a bunch on greeting cards. Now, one thing I will splurge on though is toilet paper. Sometimes, you know, when you are out and about, you get that phone call, we're out of toilet paper, you'll dash into like the convenience store or the gas station store and you'll get that cheap 1-ply. Immediately regret it. First of all, you gotta use a bunch of it because it's so thin, it rips so easily, and then you use it to wipe and it feels like sandpaper, and you're like, why did I get this? Why? So that's another area that I will not skip. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna get the most expensive toilet paper, but I'm gonna get something that feels nice and soft and comfortable to use. The 1-ply, that rough stuff, I can't do it. I can't deal with it. I don't think anybody else should deal with it. And you know, if somebody comes over and they use the bathroom and they like, what is this? Like, we can't have that. Next thing I'll no longer buy is shaving cream. I've really never bought shaving cream consistently. I've bought it a couple times over the years, of course, but then I realized, why am I buying it? Why am I buying something specialty when I can use what I have already here and it does just as good of a job? Like, I'll use regular soap to shave my legs, or I will use some conditioner to shave my legs, or I will use some shampoo to shave my legs, and all of those things are already in my shower, so it's not like I have to add anything else in there. Like, if you have something that's multi-purpose, what's the point of getting something that's specialty that you can only use on doing one thing? So I just feel like shaving cream is a waste of money. I get the same results just using what I already have in my shower. Less products to worry about, less clutter, more utilization of what I already have. It's a win-win by not buying it. Also on my no-buy list, small can liners. Now, have I ever bought these? I don't think I actually have ever bought these. So you know, like when you have small trash cans for bathrooms and things of that nature, and they have the can liners for them, I don't see the need to buy those little liners because I just use grocery bags. Whenever I go to a grocery store, I make sure to double bag so I have some extras. I just use those free bags that we get while shopping. Boom, 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 done. Saving me money right there. I'm already getting the bags. I might as well put them to use. Reduce, reuse, recycle, that type of thing. I'm reusing. Magazines, I will no longer buy. I used to be obsessed with buying magazines, you guys. Oh my goodness, I had so many. But then I realized, this is just filled with a bunch of junk and tabloid fodder. And does this really enrich my life? Especially when I'm paying $3.99 for this thing that I'm only going to read one time. While I do still enjoy sometimes flipping through a magazine, I won't actually buy one. Like I will go to a store sometimes and I'll just flip through. Ooh, look at the pictures. Ooh, browse an article, something like that. But I'm not about to sit here and buy one, especially when magazines are pretty much everywhere for free. You can go to any waiting room, boom. You are presented with your selection of magazine choices. Also, a lot of things now are online. There's so much that is online. There are even online versions of magazines, or a lot of the information that you can get in magazines, you can get it online. So I just feel like I'm not moved to spend money on that anymore. Another thing I no longer buy are duplicate clothing items. I used to be really bad at this. I used to say, oh my goodness, I love this top. Let me get 2 of them just in case one of them starts fraying or gets a hole in it or something. I have a backup. Or I love these jeans. Let me get 2 pairs because I just don't ever want to be without them. Now I realize, especially because I like for my wardrobe to be super pared down, I don't want to have a bunch of the same things in there. I like fashion, so I like to try new things, and I don't want to be beholden to one thing. And on top of that, I just like to make the most of what I have. So I don't want to have like 3 black sweatshirts. I don't want to have 2 gray hoodies. I don't need that. I want to use the 1 gray hoodie that I have. I want to have 1 really good black blazer, and that's it. It helps me to use better what I have, and if I'm realizing that something's not working for me, I'm gonna get something that does and get rid of the thing that doesn't. So I don't want to have duplicates. I just want to have only the things that I really do enjoy. I will say though, I still do have a problem with this. I don't like duplicate clothing items. But with my shoes, I do have a couple pairs of snakeskin booties. Now they are all slightly different, but if I'm being honest with myself, I can pare them down. I really don't need all of them, but I'm really into snake print. I still do need to do better with that. But as for my clothes, I'm really good with that. Shoes are still a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. But moving on, my next thing that I will no longer buy are plug-in air fresheners. I read something not long ago about how they are super toxic, which is obviously not a good thing. Also, there are so many ways to freshen up your house. I like for my house to smell nice and clean and fresh, but there are so many ways that you can freshen up your house in natural ways. Like I will use an essential oil diffuser, love essential oils, or sometimes I will just put some water in a pot. I will put some essential oils in there and I'll let it boil, and that really freshens the house and makes the house smell so good. I will boil some cinnamon and it makes your house smell kind of like a bakery, really sweet and earthy. And then the last thing I will no longer buy are watches. I was going through like my jewelry and I realized that I never wear watches. Like it's very rare that I wear watches, and I have, I don't know, probably about 7, 8 watches, something like that, that just collect dust. I'm a pretty simple person. I like to just reach for these little simple minimal bangles, and I never think to put a watch on. And also I just never feel the need to wear one, because if I want to know the time, I'll just look at my phone like most of us do these days. So it's not that I really like, oh, I gotta put a watch on so I can keep track of time, stuff like that, like we used to do back in the day. But I'm like, I have a couple watches of different styles. If I ever want to wear one, I will just wear those. Even if they don't even work, I'm not sure if they do. Maybe the batteries are dead or something, I don't know. But maybe I'll just put it on for decoration, for the style. But I don't feel the need to go out and buy any more, because I already have some that if I ever want to wear one, I'll just wear those. So yeah, that is basically it. Those are 15 of the things that I will no longer buy moving forward, most likely. You guys let me know what you think of my list. Also, if there's anything interesting that you used to buy before but you realize doesn't work for you anymore, that you will no longer buy, leave those below as well. I like to see, you know, where people are at and their reasoning for not buying certain things. So leave that all below. Let's have a little dialogue. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch up with you on my next one.